I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCara.com. At ShopPayCara.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCara.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go, come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico, it's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the cart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now, this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3, the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, race ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Karting isn't just speed. It's control, precision, freedom. At Atlanta Motorsport Park, Kart Freedom isn't just a team. It's where drivers are made to be.
Let's go race.
Come on, man. Welcome to the future of kart race preparation, Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America. Use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
Welcome everyone, qualifying underway here from the IAME USA Grand National Championship, the 6th running of this phenomenal event. Myself, Xander Clements, alongside new to Kart Chaser here, Brett Valdeck, joining me in the commentary box. And so far, one qualifying session in the books. The youngsters in the Microswift class just got their session wrapped up. KA Junior underway. Brett, it's been a crash course into one of the biggest and most fun events on the calendar here. It's All-Star Weekend, as we like to look at it, the IAME Grand. So what's been your first couple of impressions?
Yeah, I was about to say, what a weekend to start with Kart Chaser, with no points on the line, money on the line, tires, engines, bragging rights, different track changes, thrashing during breaks for pits, and I'm excited to get started. The pits are full. We have 165 different karts here this weekend all over the country. But it's been a crash course, but excited to be here. This is an event, even just a racetrack that is, well known in this area. We're in NASCAR, IndyCar country, kind of teams right down the road, and NASCAR driver built this track, Justin Marks, and here we are racing probably one of the coolest events that the Kart Chaser has all season long.
Yeah, we spoiled you. This place is exceptional. Opened back in 2012, and Eric Jones and Justin Marks have done a phenomenal job with this facility. This event, of course, christened Kart Chaser into our live streaming broadcasting arm that has since grown to over 80-plus events on the calendar. We're 4 wide this weekend. Today's our first day of coverage, and it's pretty much nonstop, coast to coast over the next 2 days as well. And for this class here, in a bit of a crash course for sure, KA Junior at nearly 30 deep in a group qualifying session. You're seeing the benefit of the slipstream effect and the draft certainly on display. Everyone kind of in one big group. Up front here leading everyone around is Nico Katowski. He's in that red and white Trinity Karting Group Biro Art. Behind him, Ashton Woon on the black and white Speed Concepts Racing entry. And then Tristan Murphy in the Ryan Perry Motorsport Tony Kart. And there you can see Nico's going to reset himself. Woon towing off the back of Nico, just went quickest moments ago. Tristan Murphy second quick, hot on his heels, only 1,000 apart, of course, because they started that lap bumper to bumper, ended it that way. And then a couple of other young guns behind him that are also threats. There's easily an argument to be made for 10 to 15 of them to be in the hunt for the main event win on Sunday. But the important part, equally, when you talk about the money on the line, is they need to be in the top 5 by the time we get done with today for the Fast 5 shootout for KA Junior and for the Micro Swifts. And so that, of course, another new aspect to the event, Brett, that's it's so much fun for us. And so part of it starts right now. They're going to weigh qualifying 50%, heat 1, your result 50%. Qualifying on the pole, that's the best odds of being able to be in the hunt for the money race tonight.
And just based off of my research from last year, I mean, obviously, like you just said, you want to qualify up front. But if you don't, if you have some issues, this track has plenty of passing opportunities. I saw guys go from, I think, 15th to 3rd last year in some of the classes. So obviously, like I said, you want to qualify up front, but if you have some issues, maybe you didn't get that set up right today, you could definitely make some passes in the heats and all the racing that we have this weekend.
Certainly. And for Ashton Woon here, you saw him drop to the back of the group. Nico Katowski even already made up a little bit of ground, and we'll probably have a pass coming in this pack here in a moment. The good part about the 8-minute qualifying session, this is a bit unorthodox from what these kids and across the board the drivers have been used to. Over the years, we have slowly, in a trend across all the major events, shortened the qualifying sessions. And the reason for that is they've tried to, at a number of events, line them up in order of final practice times to hopefully have the fast guy not catch a slow car on a lap and run only a 2 or 3 or at the most a 4-lap session. And again, trying to take out some of the gamesmanship that you're seeing on display here. All clean so far, right? Passes here. There's Nico Katowski making one, but equally drivers further back lining themselves up, re-racking to get a toe lap in. In a long session like this, on the tire compound we have, you could put that lap in on lap 3. You could put that lap in probably on lap number 8. But in a number of events here and abroad, when they'd give them 8 minutes, they would all wait on the grid to the last possible second, much like the experiment when NASCAR tried group qualifying, much like what you see when F1 will do it at Monza, and a number of other karting events around the world that they'll still only end up doing 2 laps out of the session. So over time, much of the major series said, okay, if you're only going to go out and drive 2 or 3 laps, we're only going to give you 2 or 3 laps, and we'll just space you out and say, all right, well, if you only got 1 shot, you're not going to run the risk of catching someone at an abnormal time and burning your only shot at a good lap. But here, right, 8 minutes, you could make a run, drop back in. Obviously, you see Travis Pettit there. He's in the blue and pink, the Art Rollison Performance Group Cosmic, and Nico Katowski there in the red and white Barrel Art. They both dropped back again, but the part the officials have to keep their eyes out for is obviously any kind of impeding, right? They both dropped back going into turn number 8, that infield hairpin, and could have easily butchered a lap or two for the drivers that were tracking towards that group. And so that's where, while we do have the unofficial times right now, Travis Pettit does own the fast lap of 49.047 from a couple laps prior. He could lose the best lap as a penalty and have to fall back to his second best, or a similar type of penalty awarded for an impeding infraction. The other thing they've got to keep notice on, even in qualifying, although it's more of a device meant to clean up the actual races, are the pushback bumper devices. So that's a small piece of plastic on the front bumper that we'll get to later in the show as well. It has 2 mounting points to the frame rails, and if it gets too much force, one or both of the rails will drop to a lower, looser setting, hence the pushback name of the pushback bumper, meant to act somewhat like a pseudo front wing. And that is a faultless style penalty system. It is appealable, but knocking that bumper in by giving too hard of a shove in qualifying, that could also harm your starting spot for the heat races, which will, of course, this session set the grid for Heat 1 later tonight and Heat 2 tomorrow afternoon on the alternate course. So they're on the standard track today, alternate course tomorrow, but the lap times that'll set the grid for the alt course set right now. A whole lot to take in and try to explain it all. We're already towards the end of the session. In fact, the checkers will fly this time. Pettit still holds 49.047 to Golseth and Katowski. I don't know, as we've been watching this here, Brett, if anyone in this pack looks like they're tracking good on this final lap. They've all shuffled quite a bit.
Yeah, they're all staying in that line there. We'll see as they cross this time. It looks like everyone pretty much stayed where they were. No one really kind of bounced up too much.
Yeah, nobody inside the entire top 11 went green. You have to go all the way down to Kai Mars in 12th to see someone that went quicker on that final lap around. They were all just a bit too close there, and the accordion effect certainly slowed them. You can see Pettit did a 49.6, Golseth a 49.3. Their best, obviously, an 0, and then a couple of 1s. So Travis Pettit, Hurricane Travis, he was born during a hurricane in New Jersey, and that nickname has stuck. He has struck already here at the IAME Grand National Championship Pole Award in KA Junior Qualifying. Nathan Golseth in second. Nico Katowski third. Golseth got his first career U.S. Junior National win 3 weeks ago at this very venue for the U.S. Pro Kart Series opener. He had been hunting for it. He'd actually scored a championship in KA Junior at one of the Winter Series, the SCUSA Winter Series this year, and he had still not gotten a main event win. He got one this event last year. He won the shootout in the KA Junior Fast 5 shootout later tonight. So he's second in the provisional seedings to go to it. Nico Katowski third, Maxwell Macha fourth, Callan Berghofer out of Georgia fifth. So that would be, of course, the top 5 that would go to the Fast 5 shootout right now if they finished in that order in heat number 1 later today. But it'll be a lot harder to get into the KA Senior shootout presented by Apex Apparel, of course, because that has 47 total drivers on the grid. AJ Myers, the Magic Man, in his second weekend with MPG Motorsports and Kart Republic. Cash Perkins, who was a hero last year in his major breakout weekend at the IAME Grand National Championship with Brandon Jarskrak Racing. He's here in the Holtz Driver Development colors. There's a couple of the LN carts with the BJR crew, the red and black MPG Motorsports, Kart Republics. 2 groups for KA Senior Qualifying, split in half after the warm-up session from this afternoon. You'll still see some big names probably in this group, like the kid right there on the right, the 905. The kid from Key West, Jacob Kolar, has won this event before in X30 Pro back in 2024. He's one of many pulling double duty this weekend. He's in this slow group. Didn't have a good afternoon warm-up session, so it's put him on the back foot and a few more even towards the back of the grid. But they can still put it on the pole in this session if they go quick enough. When the times get blended overall. So first of 2 groups, KA Senior heading on to the racetrack. How about another star here? One you've got to see a little bit of, Caleb Gaffera. He's pulling double duty this week as well. He's back with the team where he won the $5,000 last year, Holtz Driver Development.
I saw a driver go in the grass briefly.
Yeah, that looked,
tires.
Yeah, a little bit cooler probably surface and tire temps than maybe what they anticipated. So
yeah, I was going to mention, you mentioned cooler temps. It looks sunny and hot from at home, if you're watching, it's actually only 66 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Which is unseasonably cool for May 1st here in North Carolina. So we know tonight the sun's going to go down there racing, so the track's only going to pick up grip as we head later in today and that sun goes down. Track will pick up time, hopefully as well, for these drivers.
So this first lap here just has them all spread out. Meyer Lewis, that's the 946 in the black helmet. First one we're seeing out. He had a good practice day yesterday. Only 3/10 off the top time when they finished on the standard layout. And there'll be a lot of those blue and yellow go-karts here with Brandon Jarchakrak Racing, one of many race teams that calls Trackhouse Motorplex home. Paulie Massimino, of course, has been the captain of that ship. He's been the understudy for Brandon Jarchakrak ever since they joined up back almost 8 years ago.
Paulie's the one I got circled on my entry list because I know last year he racked up a lot of money. He was quick in warm-ups this morning, so we'll see. And he's doing double duty, so he knows this place pretty well. So we'll see how he does this weekend. He's probably one of the favorites going into this event.
He is. He, of course, won here 3 weeks ago. Crossed the line first provisionally in KA Senior. Got handed a penalty. Still ended up making up for it. He won the X30 Pro main event that paid the big bucks. He has won the Apex Apparel Shootout more than any other driver over the 5-year history of the IAME Grand National Championship. And he will be certainly a force to be reckoned with. He'll be coming up in that second group. On screen right there, the 915, that's a driver in new colors, but a former winner at this event as well. Back in 2023 in the X30 Pro main event, Dalton Haynes in the black Stealth machine for Mark Steele Motorsports. His first time on this chassis. He comes out of the Biro Art Factory. One thing that's tough for a lot of people to get the grasp on, of course, is how many go-kart brands there are, but a lot of them still are the exact same. For example, the blue and pink RPG Cosmics, no different than the Tony Karts or the Red Speeds. 8 different chassis lines come out of the OTK Kart group. There's a handful that come out of the Biro Art Factory, so that same frame that Dalton Haynes is on is the one the TKG Biro Art of Nico Katowski was on and the like. There'll be a lot of different colors, but a handful of the major manufacturers. And this weekend, Dalton Haynes, that's his first time on that manufacturer's material, period. He's never driven the go-kart before, didn't have a test day on it. Said he liked it so far, he was interested about it. Equally, AJ Myers, who just went to the top of the board on the Kart Republic. He only had, I think, just a half test day, maybe a session or two before his U.S. Pro Kart Series debut with that team. He's had a long-time relationship with Magic Kart USA. They've dialed back a bit this year. AJ Myers, one of the vets in the field. There he is in the white and orange Kart Republic suit. 29 years old, out of Orlando, Florida. Moved up to Charlotte, North Carolina. Lives at Mount Ula, North Carolina nowadays. Him and his fiance Jordan. He's got a full-time job, and equally he is still one of the best in the business. He's 1 year away from being eligible to go to the Masters classes, the veteran divisions that aren't here this weekend in the All-Star race, but he is still at the top of his game like many to be in the professional seats that he's in. He had speed on the MPG KR on debut. It didn't go to plan. He got caught up in some other drivers' messes right off the rip in that weekend. So this weekend could be a good, all right, first weekend woes thrown out, second weekend together, put up a good result. He's run good here in the past, but he's been bumped down. So a couple new names to the top now. Alexander Vanchev quickest, Victor De Alencar second, Cash Perkins third, Joseph Hewitt up to fourth, Myers in fifth. That's Meyer Lewis there again, slowing down, hand in the air. I think that's actually the 914. That's Grayson Knoll with a problem down the back straightaway.
If you're going to have a problem, I guess have it early on in the weekend. Hopefully you can get it fixed and get back out on track. You don't want to have that problem on probably Saturday or Sunday, kind of take you out of the whole event. So you don't want problems, but I guess if there was ever a time to have one, the first qualifying session maybe would be to do it.
Yeah, it's a long run over the overall weekend, right? This hurts for sure in the drivers trying to race their way into the Apex Apparel Shootout later tonight, but it does at least, like you say, get the weekend started on a downbeat with a lot of sessions to make up time. Of course, you'll start at the back for the 2 heat races, but you can drive forward. If you stay out of trouble, you'll start halfway decent for that super heat. All 3 of those races blended for the main event grid. You can still end up starting pretty good for the big races on Sunday afternoon if you do end up a little bit buried in the pack. On screen now, Haynes in the middle. It's Alexander Vanchev for Rollison Performance Group, who has taken the top time and held it for the last couple of laps, a 49.185. Now again, this is still just the first of the two groups, but Vanchev, 15 thousandths up over Victor De Alencar, two rookies. That probably the most stacked rookie division, or rookie class, I should say, in the senior ranks in K, senior and X30 Pro, that it feels like we've had in a couple of years. Alexander Vanchev won more than any other driver back in last year in his swan song in the junior ranks. He hails out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's already gotten wins to his name here in 2026. He's looking to go to the major card shootouts for the very first time tonight with the K senior shootout, and among many here, double duty drivers hoping to end up in the X30 Pro shootout tomorrow night as well. But as he drops back, we'll shift our focus again. How about Jeremy Fletcher in the 922? He's in that black and orange and white SLA kart racing machine, second on the racetrack, just ahead of Myers and Haynes and them. De Alencar, he's that young man in the 977. That's the kid up there in second. So it's been a good qualifying session for Victor. But Jeremy Fletcher, it's a gut-wrenching story and weekend here, hopefully with a very heartfelt ending to it. Of course, Jeremy has been, he was basically, if you go back, in the same path up the karting ranks 1 year behind Connor Zilish, where Connor Zilish debuted as senior and set the world on fire in 2021. Jeremy Fletcher did in 2022 and followed a lot of the same steps. He's, of course, won the Mazda MX-5 Cup Series championship. He has been scouted by just about every major OEM. Still competes regularly, won in the GR Cup Series last weekend at the Challenge of the Americas. His last go-kart race was back in November at Rock the Rio. He wasn't meant to drive. He showed up there to do some driver coaching, borrowed a helmet, borrowed a suit when a driver couldn't make it, won the darn thing out of 50 go-karts. He's run good here before as well. He's won, he's podiumed in the X30 Pro shootout. He has won at this racetrack before as well, in other major events, but the bittersweet part, his grandmother Becky, his grandparents have basically raised him and taken him through this entire crazy racing journey. She had a very, very scary moment earlier this week. His grandfather would have loved to have been here. They are watching on, I'm sure. And to Becky and to Jerry, we wish you all the best. We can't wait to see you at a racetrack soon, and hopefully here Jeremy can put in a good performance. Right now he needs a big lap here at the end of this qualifying session. He, among many, bailed early. He's going to bail, and let's go back to it. Vanchev's lap at a 49.1's the time to beat. Last to the line is Gaffera and De Alencar. They will not have an answer. So the first group, benchmark set, 49.185. Alexander Vanchev, top of the board. Victor De Alencar, AJ Myers, Jeremy Fletcher, Cash Perkins, the top five provisionally. Joseph Hewitt, Dalton Haynes, Caleb Gaffera stayed all the way to the end. He only could get to 8th. And again, this is before they all get blended together, right? So a 49.1 down to a 49.38 for Gaffera, and a 4.0 for Meyer Lewis, and a 5.2 for Chris Harrower. Grayson Knowles up there. Not a bad one.
All those drivers are going to be watching closely this group to see how far down they may go down in the on the speed chart once they blend them together, as you mentioned. But a beautiful day for racing. The only reason I mention that is because tomorrow is a little bit There's rain in the forecast in the morning, keeps changing. So they want to get the best racing or get their setups dialed in today before tomorrow's iffy weather. Sunday looks great so far here in Mooresville, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte. Again, all the major NASCAR teams literally just down the road. You can see all the signs you pull into Trackhouse Motorplex here. Some IndyCar teams, Penske just down the road as well, as you see the drivers lining up on pit lane. The second group going to go out here in just a few minutes. We'll see what the top time is after the end of this session. But again, 47 karts. A lot of drivers signed up for this event this weekend. They divide them here, but as you told me, they will be putting them all back together for the main events later this weekend. So I'm excited to see 47 karts on the track at one time here at Trackhouse Motorplex. Will be a wild event, but again, qualifying still here right now. We'll see how they shake out in just a few moments.
Saw a number of the big names here in this group. Again, everybody here has gone quick in the warm-up session. Weston Workman returning back to the scene. Another driver, the Toyota Racing Development driver that has been busy. Made his return back with Timmy Tech aboard the Pantano chassis at the Queen City Gambit 2 weeks ago. His second karting start now after a multi-year hiatus, as he has been another talent scout and another Trackhouse Motorplex success story. But again, of the rookies and even now a sophomore here on screen, Chase Gassiet-Lee, the young bucks that he has joined back in on the grid have certainly brought speed. And at 47 provisional entries for KA Senior, benchmark time 49.185 for Alexander Vanchev. Engines, as you can see, are fired, and they're getting ready to release them as we work towards the halfway mark in our qualifying sessions here from Trackhouse Motorplex for the 6th running of the IAME USA Grand National Championship. As you mentioned, beautiful weather. Can't ask for anything more here today. Highs in the low 70s. And Joe Turney, his return to the event, he won the most money, I think, on record of any driver over the 5-year history back in 2023. Second in that X30 Pro main event. He won the X30 Pro shootout. He podiumed in the KA Senior main event. And I believe it was on the box as well in the Apex Apparel shootout that night too. Actually, I think he won the KA Senior main event, podiumed in X30 Pro. And you can see he didn't want to let anyone follow.
So everyone's looking for their partners, looking where to go. It's kind of a mess coming through that turn there. It looks like they're getting it sorted out.
Yeah, they're all. You can see. Well, Turney pulled out of the way. The other driver, the one you had circled, Paulie Massimino. Everybody was wanting to follow him, hoping they could, because he was second at warm-up, so that meant he had to leave the grid second. And he is crawling over into the infield hairpin. He doesn't want to give anyone besides his BJR teammates any extra help here on the standard layout. So he's way back. Turney's reblended somewhere in the middle. There he is. He's going to go by Blake Nash and another one of the Nash Motorsports machines. And that'll cost them all a lap, but again, it's 8 minutes. They got plenty of laps, plenty of time. There'll be a lot of re-racking, potentially a little impeding, and that's where the first group, right, the slow group sometimes has an advantage. We see a lot of times where when they take all the fast drivers, they know that draft being 2 or 3 tenths of a second could make all the difference in the world, that they will mess around too much in the session and half of them won't get a clean lap in, and the slow group of drivers that just went out and drove like what we just saw and aren't doing this.
Yeah, you see them right now.
They end up
they're
with
just
laps
puttering around right now. They're not full speed at all, just puttering. We'll see if they finally get it organized. Doesn't look like anyone just seems to want to go. Still have a little over 6 minutes left, so there's plenty of time, but that's the gamesmanship that we talked about in some of these qualifying sessions. Looks like they're finally organized now. Maybe they'll be going full speed this lap as they come across the line. We'll see.
At least a couple of them are. We got a couple of them initial laps in. 49.8 for Anthony Rivera. So again, that's still 7 tenths off what Alexander Vanchev hit. But like you said, only a handful. Most of them are just now getting up to full song, and even still, you see a couple resets there. Enzo Vidmontien, that's in the orange helmet. He was resetting, dropping back in the SLA Kart Republic, and behind him, Henry Wheeler in the white suit making the pass on Chase Gassiet-Lee.
How much do you think these drivers are actually looking at the clock, or do they forget the clock is even there and they just want to, they don't even realize when time's up?
Again, I don't know if all of them are keeping track of it. The truth is that while the Trackhouse Motorplex circuit does have a clock on the timing stand, that's more so used for the rental sessions. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't get a look at it and see if they are using it to show the time remaining in the session. You can kind of see it a little bit down the front stretch. Yeah, so they don't have it. There you see. Great
You're guessing in your mind how long is 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
So they have no idea, right? We have the clock here on our screen. We know we're already to about halfway. They just got to get to the timing loop before the clock hits 0 to start a new lap. They probably have a number in their mind of what they think is going to be how many laps they could get in theory in the session, but that's if they were going at full speed, right? So by not going to full song off the rip, you're going a whole lot slower. That's going to hurt. That's going to make it where a lot of them aren't going to end up getting the lap times they probably should.
I'll just keep my eye, like I said, on Paulie Massimino, and we're getting new times coming right now, but he is down in, well, there he goes, back up to second. So I was worried for a second that maybe he wasn't going to get a good time in, but he has enough experience around this track with this event that he's been able to bring it up to the second fastest so far. Our fastest is 9:48. James Overbeck with a 49.228 with a little about 3.5 minutes left in this session as the drivers look like they have gotten things organized to a degree.
Yeah, we've got them all looking to be at least getting a half-decent lap in here. There's Overbeck, back of this train. This could be a really good lap as he's towing up towards him. Let's see if it goes better than before. Yes, it does. 49.067. James Overbeck to the top. His teammate, Paulie Massimino, the BJR duo. They have gone 1-2 at this track before. Last year was a barn burner start to the U.S. Pro Kart Series. James and Paulie split the opening two main events of the year, first at Daytona, then here at Trackhouse. They both finished first and second in each appearance. And they are quick again, both at a 49 flat. That's overall pole already, so Alexander Vanchev's 49.18 from the first group has been beaten. At the moment, he would blend to 6th overall, just ahead of Weston Workman. But with 2.5 minutes to go, this group's going to find a lot more speed. There'll be a lot more drivers probably to populate up. Let's see if they change again.
They're on it now. You can see as they go across the line, our board is lighting up as they go across. Looks like everyone pretty much stayed status quo that time going by. Overbeck Massimino still first and second. Colin Lloyd to the 961 in third.
Yeah, Lloyd's in that black and orange Velocity Racing Sodi there. He was in that group. He's right now about 7th in line or so. Front of this pack, that's Brandon Lemke in the 901 for Speed Concepts Racing. Max Christie has been following him. There's Paulie Massimino here. He's got Blake Nash behind him. He's got clear racetrack. He'll track up to the back of one of his teammates if he were to stay on that lap. He's going to bail out of it. Reset again. So this lap he's on won't be good. He'll have to go for another time. Couple changes outside the top 5. Matt Landers has gone up to 6th. Aiden Levy, who was the other half of the battle with Paulie Massimino, the winner after penalties were assessed 3 weeks ago, said he used the U.S. Pro Kart Series to tune up for this race specifically, Brett. He was really looking forward to getting back behind the wheel. He's pitted out of a garage stall with his dad, his longtime driver coach, and Martin Pierce, and his mechanic Damon as an independent effort. 7th on the board. Vid Monty in 8th. Cristea 9th. Edgar Rodriguez in 10th. 49.4 for him. But the top 4 unchanged. Big lap out of Jared Clark. He'll go to 5th. This group, I think they're all too close at this point.
Yeah, they're mixing it up back there too. So again, everyone pretty much stayed status quo on that. The 919 moved up slightly to 13th. That's pretty much the only movement we saw on our board.
Yeah, no real change right there for sure. As they go down the backstretch, James Overbeck, he had a 2-for-1 pass down into turn 1. He helped Henry Wheeler make a move on Colin Lloyd in the orange Sodi, and then he passed Wheeler at the last second. But Joe Turney there, he's gotten clear racetrack. So has Weston Workman in the black and yellow Pantano. So that's the drivers in 4th and 6th right now with some real estate to go. There's Lloyd passing Wheeler back. Chase Gassie and Lee trying to follow on the blue machine. 15 seconds to go. James Overbeck's lap from earlier in the session on lap 4. A 49.0, still holding. This group's going to be right at the buzzer, trying to get a few more to the end. The checkers have not fallen yet. Paulie Massimino will be the first one to get it per timing and scoring. He got down to a 49.080. Still couldn't get up to his teammate's time, but he's 2nd on the board. So this group here, all the way back to them. They're done. This group here was about halfway back. They're working on their last lap right now. In the middle of it, or 2nd in the line, might be the first one to challenge for overall pole. Jared Clark in the blue, white, and yellow machine coming up the hill. Daniel Perez is right in front of him on the DPC Motorsports entry. He's way down. Let's see what their final lap looks like. Is it anything? No. 49.4 for Clark. Behind him, here comes the front group. Last few to the line. Turney is in. Workman stays. Overbeck stays. And no changes. The only driver that went quick on the final couple laps was Massimino at a 49.08. in green. And there's been a change here. Looks like a penalty assessed for James Overbeck. If this is correct, it just removed his fast lap time. If they did not rewind the clocks a little bit too far. That just took the lap times away from a number of them. Kept Paulie's.
Yeah, we'll get some clarification hopefully, because our whole board kind of just flip-flopped when that change was made.
The entire pack, minus Massimino, lost their best lap all at one, or they all converted over to lap number 9. We'll take a look at it. Either way, we know it's going to be a BJR LN card on the top of the board. Overbeck provisionally fastest. Massimino second quick. And keeping an eye again on the unofficial live timing on Alpha Timing and Scoring. Massimino now shows at the top at a 49.080. Overbeck a 0.6. But Brandon Jarsukrak Racing, fastest overall for KA Senior. We'll take a step aside. We'll hear from our pole sitter and we get clarification in a moment. But we'll have a quick break here and return with more action. Mini Swift up on deck.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental cart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Another Kart Chaser driver fitness episode with me, Chris G. Today, I'm going to show you how to protect those ribs in the seat. We're doing core. Exercise number 1 is the bench leg raise. Controlled all the way down, full range of motion. Make sure you pick up that tailbone off the pad. Coming down, controlling. Great for the lower abdomen area and obliques. Floor slider mountain climbers, exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, the plate-loaded decline bench sit-up. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chris G Coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do.
Hey, what's up, Caleb? What's up, Brandon? You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I went to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mini Swift qualifying underway, and we have just gotten word indeed. Paulie Massimino has won the pole in KA Senior, so that'll put him on the top of Flight A, as they'll be split in half down the line now once the final results get tallied, with the odd-numbered qualifiers from first, third, fifth all in Flight A, or Group A, and then the even-numbered ones in Group B. They'll stay in those groups, and they won't see each other all the way up until the main event when everyone gets blended back together on Sunday. They'll stay in the half of the group for Heat 1, Heat 2, get re-racked for their separate super heat, and then all the points will then blend everyone to set that 47 driver grid. But Mini Swift qualifying on circuit now. Lennox Lockhart, quickest here, a winner in the Fast 5 shootout in the Micro Swift class a year ago. New colors for him on the national scene with the white and black and red Paralym chassis.
I was watching this warm-up, and they're mixing it up in warm-up as well, but for me, as a new commentator here, Kart Chaser, it was interesting to watch these kids because these kind of remind me of like a NASCAR term, like a Talladega or Daytona, because they're all kind of packed in there. Draft is so important. But, I mean, these are fun to watch for someone new like me. They're really mixing it up in warm-up earlier today.
And the Mini Swift classes, and we'll get to it, it has always delivers because of these tracks, like you said, everyone feels like a super speedway. Paulie Massimino does quite a bit of coaching for some of the kids in the field. I'm sure he's equally trying to keep an eye on them and get ready for his X30 Pro machine. But he's standing by with grace as our first pole award winner here in KA Senior.
Thanks, Xander. I'm here with Paulie, our first ever pole setter here this weekend. Paulie, talk to me about how your weekend's been going so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far so good. I've had really good pace in both classes, and yeah, I've been trying a few different things. The line's pretty much there. We're just, trying random stuff with the chassis and see if we can find anything different than what we know.
And you're pretty notorious for being exceptional at this track, so how do you plan on continuing the streak this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, just keep my head in it. I love this race. This race is the most fun I have all year, so just going to keep having fun. Keep tweaking on the karts, keep working on myself, and, just stay calm. And, we got 2 heats and a super heat, so no reason to go crazy, especially this first one. Obviously, it kind of determines if you get in tonight. So play it calm, conservative. Yeah, main thing is just kind of go have fun.
Well, let's see if you can hold on to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
There you have it, Paulie Massimino, top of the heap in KA Senior. Again, knows this place well, has trained a number of them in the Mini Swift class here on screen. He's coined this, he finally at the end of last year, after winning another major at this event, said, you know what, this place feels more like my house than my home does. I feel like I'm here more than most of the employees. Any given Monday through Sunday, he's probably here either working on his own craft or helping develop some of the next generation superstars. One driver here who has just gone to the top of the board. He's third in line in this group here, that blue and orange Bennick machine, Dutch Westbrook. He had an unbelievable performance. You talk about having an issue in qualifying. He did. He started at the back of a 44-driver Mini Swift field for the U.S. Pro Kart Series. That format, Brett, 3 heat races. Had to start at the back for all 2 heat races and a super heat. Had to start at the back for both heat races of 44. He picked up 20 spots apiece in the heats, got to the middle. Started in the middle of the super heat, drove up into the top 10. And then in the main event, on the last lap, from here through turn 9, in a 4-on-1 with 4 teammates all by himself in a 5-car lead group, took the win away. Passed 75 go-karts over 2 days to get the win here 3 weeks ago. It was incredible. Obviously, the speed showing.
That might be bad news if he gets the pole here, or the fastest time for the rest of his competitors. If he's going to be able to start out front, he was able to make all those passes. It looks like he is going to be our...
He just got beat.
Oh, he did. I'm sorry, he did just get beat, but
right
still starting second. So the number 149, Hudson Howard, top of the charts here as a checkered flag waves on this session.
Yeah, that's a big lap out of Hudson. Buzzer beater moment just robs the story there for Dutch Westbrook. He won't be able to go from last to first in the inverted qualifying from 3 weeks ago to now, but it will be a good time indeed. Like you said, it'll put him second on the overall standings. Hudson Howard, top of the heap here in qualifying for Mini Swift with a last-second lap for MPG Motorsports, the son of former IndyCar Series star Indy Lights champion Jay Howard, and their alliance with MPG Motorsports. quickest in Mini Swift qualifying aboard the Kart Republic. Aiden Go third, Jaden Francisco, Lennox Lockhart quick early, ends up fifth. Look how close though the top 5 were, 2/10 apart, and then even here, middle of the pack, couple hundredths separating 11th back through 16th to Liam Astalis. Like you said, the draft keeps these kids close. 9 horsepower unrestricted Mini Swift engines. In explaining to someone new the difference of the Micro Swift to Mini Swift class, yes, of course, on paper, one has a restricted header, one's the younger age group, the 7 to 10-year-olds, the beginning of the ladder. The other, of course, the 8 to 12-year-olds. In Micro Swift, pace and speed's probably about 90% of the game. There's about 3 or 4 of them typically that can figure things out and get up to speed quick. And 10%'s the racecraft. In Mini, it's the opposite. About 90% of the game is racecraft, 10% of its speed. That's just a ticket to the dance in this division.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, there's so many. There's 4 different, actually, there's multiple different divisions this weekend, but those ones were ones I was watching in warm-up, and man, they were really tearing it up out there. Looks like a blast from the commentating booth to be out there in those karts as a young kid. You see they are taking the one vehicle off the racetrack, so we'll have a slight delay here before our next session for X30 Junior Qualifying gets started. I want to get that car off the track, obviously, as you take a look at the drivers getting out of their karts on pit lane here at Trackhouse Motorplex. Beautiful facility, as we mentioned, built back in 2012. Quickly became well known around this area here in Charlotte. When I moved here 10 years ago, this is one of the first places I came to visit after hearing about it. No professional karts for me, just rental karts, but learned a little bit about this racetrack. But every time you come out here, even on an off weekend, there's always the professional guys with their karts working out of their garage, doing practice laps. This facility, I think, runs pretty much 365 days a year except for holidays. We had some snow this winter. They didn't run them then, but they run in all types of weather. So a lot of drivers here this weekend with a lot of laps, easily probably hundreds and thousands of laps around this racetrack, as our next session is getting out on the track as we speak.
Yep, 2 more to go. And then it's time to go racing here. Well, there'll be a little break in the action, then it'll be time to go racing. X30 Junior now released. X30 Pro will follow, and that'll be the last of the 6 divisions to have their grids set for the heat races this afternoon. So this division, 11 to 15 years old, the next rung up the ladder from Mini Swift, and they go from a 9 horsepower, 245-pound minimum weight cadet kart with 4.5-inch tires on all 4 sides, to having those tires just be the fronts, going to the full-size rears, the full-size chassis, another 80 pounds to get the minimum weight to 320, and then they triple the horsepower. 28 horsepower restricted X30 Junior 125cc water-cooled motors. It's arguably the biggest leap in the entire spectrum of the divisions. There's a couple of young bucks that have had to adapt to it quickly here over this year that are still getting to terms of it, but it's a huge, huge leap.
I was saying, just like our adult division, the kids looking for their friends out there, trying to get matched up with someone they want to get a fast speed with. You can see still trying to get matched up with people as they head down. I guess we'd call it the back stretch here at Trackhouse from this full layout here.
And so with the reset here, a minute in, we'll probably won't see much on this first time by the loop for X30 Junior Qualifying. Marco Samet leading the pack. Now Travis Pettit passes him on by. As we'll watch the first bit of times begin to populate when they get back around, but again, they won't be the most accurate read in the world as we watch them all head out of the final turn. Pettit will lead them. Right behind him is Benja Fernandez in the black suit for the MPG Motorsports Kart Republic crew. Samet third in line, and that'll be the first and third drivers on the first laps by. 48.62 for Travis. You can see again, this is about a second or so a lap quicker than the KA seniors. And they're about a second and a half slower with that restricted header, even with the lighter weight than the X30 Pros that'll go out onto the racetrack in a matter of moments. But Travis Pettit will be, yeah, he's got the first of 2 drivers with a chance to double up on poles, right? Our KA Junior Pole Award winner could try to sweep them both here with X30 Junior, just as Paulie will attempt to, and X30 Pro coming up shortly. Let's see what this first lap is now. He's got clean air, had to make a pass to start that first lap he clocked. This one will be the first read, 48 flat. It'll get bested just barely by Marco Samet behind him. And so Marco will go to a 48.02. or a 019. Pettit to an 027. 8,000s
I was
apart.
about to say, I mean, every fraction of a second counts with this class right now, it looks like. You see some of them put their heads down on the straightaways. Like I said, anything they can do to get maybe a little tenth or a thousandth of a second can make a difference for one position in this current session.
And so, as they head out onto the short chute over to 11, another lap will go in. Certainly spread out, a lot less resetting. Again, with more horsepower, the 100cc classes, right, they're still only 22 horsepower, and a lot of that of the power band is more so out of the corner. The get up and go out of the slow turn 8 hairpin and some of the other mid-range areas for the KA100 is similar to that of the X30 class. It's basically the difference from turn 3 here on the backstretch all the way to 4 and down the front straightaway by about the finish line to turn 1 is where a lot of that speed difference is, where that extra 6 horsepower really makes a difference and why the times are so much quicker. So that second half of the straightaways where the draft would make a big difference.
Yeah, we saw Tristan Murphy go to the top of the board, and as soon as that happened, Travis went back into the pack to see maybe if he could find some more speed, getting a draft off of these other drivers out there.
Yeah, so it'll make an impact, but it won't be as heavy as the KA classes. The other reason for that, this one has a rev limiter, 16,000 RPM. It'll pop out and you'll just bounce the chip, whereas the KA classes will keep on spinning. So the draft will be even more impactful in those classes, whereas here you might get onto the rev limiter and then just sit there in the end of the straightaway. They'll barely kiss it right here in the brake zone to turn number 4. The only time they'll touch it, or at least aim to with the gearing. But like you said, Tristan Murphy to the top out of Nashville, Tennessee. Ashton Woon second. Grew up in Arizona, moved over here to North Carolina a couple years ago to chase the motorsports dream. He's got the 703, that's the 3-plate he earned at the SCUSA Pro Tour National Championship last year in his rookie season. Got his first junior win at the end of the campaign. His second full year in the junior classes underway now. With 3 minutes to go, he leads the pack, but Nico Katowski roared up to him. It wasn't enough for Katowski to put a better lap in, but Travis Pettit did, 4th in line. He'll go back up top, 47.64.
We saw them jockeying for position again on the back straightaway with about 2.5 minutes to go. You can see they still trying to get things sorted out as they come around for another lap here. But it's pretty orderly right now as they head over to the final 2 corners before going back onto the straightaway across the start-finish line. So we'll see if they stay in line for this next lap, see if they can get 1 or 2 more quick times here. We see Travis Pettit go back into the lead of this pack as he remains top of the charts, followed by Tristan Murphy and Ashton Woon, rounding out your top 3.
And so a 47.64 right at the middle of the session. That's probably about as fast as they're going to get going here. I would be surprised if they're able to find any bit more at this point in the session. Oh, contact there. Parker Ives and Marco Samet colliding. That's a weird place to hook tires going into turn number 9. I don't think either one really knew the other was there. Samet now struggling, of course, trying to reset his bearings. Down the front stretch, he'll tuck in line behind his teammate.
And as you said, pretty much everything stayed the same for qualifying order-wise through that lap.
Pettit's going to try and reset again there. You just saw him bail out down the backstretch. So he got that lap towing up to this group 4th in line. He's got back to 4th in line again. He'll try to go for another one. These 3, obviously, this lap, they'll be pushing to the end of it. Minute to go at the line. Well, they were going to be pushing. Ashton Woon's going to pass. That'll hurt him. Any pass they make here is probably going to be a 2/10 burn. Maybe only a 10th if you pass someone with a bit of the drafting help down the backstretch to turn number 4. Obviously, it'll hurt that lap to let you go, but turn 8's where you lose the most time. If not turn 9, you'll lose a little bit here in 11 as Pettit makes a move. So I don't know if anyone in this group's now going to get any lap that'll go better, and indeed, all the way back to Benja Fernandez, the only one that finds more speed. He gets to a 47.92, but just 2.5 tenths. Covers your top 6 cars in X30 Junior. Very close at the front of the field. And Pettit's heater from earlier, a full 10th and a half clear. So really, it's only 1/10 from second back to 8th on the circuit in the leaderboard.
And it looks like Moise is ducking out, so I don't think we're going to see much change once again as the clock winds down with just 10 seconds to go. Clearly, they're not going to get to the line before that, so this will probably be the last lap for all of these drivers on the racetrack. We see some of them pull off, decide it's not worth it, stay out for another lap as they come around. Checkered flag is out, and we see one driver, I think, moved up to 5th. That was Parker Ives from the 748. But everyone else pretty much staying where they were as the checkered, as we mentioned, comes out for X30 Junior. And then coming up now is X30 Pro in just a few minutes. Then I believe we have a short break before we start our heats later on this afternoon.
Indeed. Short little break after this next session headed our way, folks. X30 Junior Qualifying in the books. Travis Pettit doubles up in the junior classes. K Junior Pole and X30 Junior Pole as well. One more session to go here with the coverage. Qualifying continues. X30 Pro here coming up in a moment from Trackhouse Motorplex.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tap?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle. How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
Macro Motorsports builds champions every day. Drivers who won on the world stage. The Tillotson T4 Series is pure spec racing. Same engine, same chassis. When you win, it's because you were the best that day. Your edge is not the kart. It's the setup, the strategy, and the race team. With our Arrive and Drive program, you simply bring your gear, we provide the equipment and the championship-winning support to every event. Stop wrenching, start racing. Your path to the T4 Nations Cup in Spain starts with us. For more information, contact us at macromotorsports.net.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today. So back underway for our last qualifying session of the afternoon. X30 Pro onto the circuit here before the break in the action coming up, and then we'll go back green with heat racing at 3:50 p.m. Eastern, 12:50 p.m. Pacific.
They're running tight ship here. I appreciate that as a fan, as a commentator. Not a lot of downtime other than the break we're going to have in a few minutes, but they really do a good job here rolling out the cars one after the other, all the classes. Appreciate that as a fan as well.
So, with X30 Pro qualifying underway, Ryan Raffa set the initial quick time at a 48.245. We're following John Antonino. Buddy leading the way over Alexander Vanchev in this group. Adam Brickley's there in the orange and navy blue Prodigy Motorsports best Kart colors in the 333. Alex Stanfield in this pack, rookie Sarah Bradley with Ryan Perry Motorsport in the contingent as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of different packs. They're pretty spread out, a couple of different packs on the track. So our timing and scoring, Paulie Massimino, obviously, well not obviously, but goes to the top of the charts maybe as expected, but he's spread out in one of the mid packs, I believe, on the racetrack right now. As you can see, they're going through the midfield portion of the Trackhouse Motorplex here. You see some of them ducking out, trying to find someone they want to follow behind, see if they can get a faster lap, as we have already only have about 3.5 minutes left in this session.
Yeah, not much time left, but there we go. Paulie Massimino to the top, 47.498. This group here has his teammate Overbeck, Colin Lloyd, Blake Nash, Caleb Gaffara's in it. They're going to go even better. Enzo Vidmontien at the back of the pack there on the 350, fastest, a 47.178 though, gets Paulie back on top once again. He's a little bit further back than those leaders. There he is right there, back of the group, chasing the back of Wrigley Keys in the blue and chrome Nash Motorsports. So he's back about 8 cars from Enzo's group here in the middle as they roll down into the infield hairpin.
If I'm a driver this weekend, I want to follow Paulie around the racetrack, see if I can get a faster speed.
I think
but he's in the back, so it's hard for those drivers to do that.
I think that's why he wanted to drop back, indeed. Now Joe Turney should be quick here. He hasn't put a lap in yet. We're waiting to see it. Alexander Vanchev the same. He just went back up towards the top. Colin Lloyd with a big lap, and there it is, right on cue. Welcome back, Joe Turney, 47.092 for the MPG Kart Republic in the one plate. Overbeck to second, Lloyd third, Paulie to fourth. 1/10 separating the whole top 5 right now. That is close. That is wicked close.
And they may not know that right now, but you can see they're trying to get organized. See, like I said earlier, I mean, every little bit is going to matter in this session. One corner wrong is going to ruin your whole lap. Get behind a slow car, just make one minor mistake, and it could cost you a position here in the qualifying session. 2 minutes are left, so it looks like probably 2 laps, would you say, left for most of these guys with 2 minutes left?
On the limit. I think they can get 3 again at a 47-second lap. This group crossing the line, they should get around for 3 more. Probably get back with about 30 seconds or 20 seconds to go. But it's a different tire compound for X30 Pro than everybody else. They run on the softer of the two. They run on the MG yellows. The MG reds are kind of a medium compound. The yellows are a soft compound. The only class on the 6-class spectrum here this weekend that will be on it. They seem to be, again, with a softer tire, having a bit of a narrower window when they can put that perfect lap in. So while obviously they're all still digging for more speed right now, I don't know how easy it will be to go quicker, but there you see Joe Turney still wasting no time cutting up through the pack, trying to get himself in a good place to go at it again and try to go better. He's only 12 thousandths on the pole right now. He's lined up, I think, this lap coming to us. This will be the second to last lap this group will get. He'll get one more after it if he wants it, but on the lap he's on right now will probably be the best chance he's got before he catches the next pack to improve on that current pole time. Massimino second, Overbeck third, Roberts fourth, Lloyd fifth, Antonino, Vidmontien, Haynes, Brickley, Alexander Vanchev is second highest of the rookies. Highest rookie qualifier right now is 6th with John Antonino, teammate to Joe Turney under the red and black MPG Motorsports tent. So we're following the 301 around here as we get closer to the end of the quali session. Coming up the hill. Here he goes towards the last turn. You can see it was lap 5 that was the peak lap for him to the line. That lap will be no better. Oh, it actually will be. An 0.25 for Turney. Massimino only able to get even a little closer. Now again, half the field it looked like we're going to be on the limit to get to the checkers, but they gave it to a number of them. So let's see if anyone is going to be able to finish this one out. You can see Jacob Kolar, here he comes to the line. A little down the board on the Vice Racing entry, 17th. Mason Kuhn right here in the black helmet. No better for Mason on the final lap. Brian Garcia on the SLA Kart Racing 196, no better. That was it. The main group all got the checkers. Massimino will get denied from a double of top qualifying times. JT back on top.
Just barely. It's
12 thousandths. 200ths back. Colin Lloyd. Career best X30 Pro qualifying effort for him on the Velocity Sodi in third. Overbeck fourth for 2 BJRLN cards. Davin Roberts, youngest in the field, fifth. Second senior season. He moved up on an age waiver last year. Antonino behind him. And then here, still a very stacked group. Still
the top 15. Top 15 are neck and neck with those times. 16 actually.
It's wicked close. 18 of them under a blanket. 4/10 from Alex Stanfield and 18th in X30 Pro qualifying to the pole time of Joe Turney. And even he had a half-tenth on the field there with that burner on lap number 8. Thought it was going to be a good one. It was. 47.025. Puts him on pole for heat number 1. Later on today, Paulie Massimino second, Colin Lloyd third, Overbeck and Davin Roberts, your top 5. So there's a look at it, folks, and there's a look at our top qualifier, Joe Turney. Good lap for him early. His second quickest lap still would have put him on the pole for heat number 1 and heat number 2 tomorrow. But he went and bested it anyway. And some of the other drivers here, Dalton Haynes, of course, a former winner, down in 8th, 10th and a half off. 11 thousandths could have put him 7th ahead of Vid Montien. Antonino again, best of the rookies there in 6th. Another rookie, of course, further back in Alexander Vanchev, 11th. Victor Day Alencar, 12th. But the vets, 1 and 2 in Joe Turney and Paulie Massimino. You could throw Colin Lloyd in the mix there as well. He has been a seasoned front runner in the X30 Pro divisions. We'll be getting ready to hear from Joe in a matter of moments, but a quick flurry through for qualifying racing on tap here, Brett, before we take a quick break in our coverage. Any other quick thoughts here from seeing it all come at you real fast?
Just I've covered a lot of different racing series over my career, and qualifying for the karting series like this special event, that was fun to watch. Sometimes qualifying in other series can be a little not really exciting, but I mean, especially this group that we just saw with how close they were. I'm excited to see us go racing a little bit later here.
Yeah, they're the best in the business for a reason. Joe Turney, of course, the winningest record in a consecutive streak in the modern era. Went 7 main events in a row, finishing on the top step of the podium. In fact, he has finished no worse than second on track since that streak began. That's a high bar to set, not to mention the amount of purse money he was able to take home a couple of years ago at this event. We missed him from it. We're happy to see him back from across the pond in his busy schedule this year with a heavy load of American events. He's already won his opening 2. He swept both main events for his first weekend of the year at the SCUSA Pro Tour opener in Tucson, Arizona, about a month and some change ago, Brett. So he is undefeated so far in 2026 in that event, all the way out in the West Coast. He was racing for the main event on day 1, Paulie Massimino. Now he's at his home turf, and they'll be starting side by side for our first heat race with the big dogs right before we get to the Fast 5 shootouts and the Apex Apparel K shootout tonight, too. Should be a ton of fun, but the 2 heavyweights showing why they are what they are, and the resumes backed up by their quality results here today.
You mentioned there's a lot of money on the line this week. I think $70,000 total. I know Paulie Massimino took home a large chunk of that last season in this event, so he has that target on his back if any of these other drivers want to take home one of those big checks at the end of the weekend.
So as they roll through weigh scales here, that 301 machine will get ready to head to tech. As an update for you folks watching along with us here, the next session's coming up Kickoff at 3:50 p.m. Eastern, 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. Heat number 1 for Micro Swift will be the first of them up. KA Junior will follow at 4:07. KA Senior, both of their flights for heat number 1, 4:24 and 4:41. Mini Swift will be up right before 5 p.m. local time, 5:15 and 5:32 for X30 Junior and X30 Pro. But they'll take the top couple drivers, send their karts over to tech inspection for a quick spot check post-qualifying, assuming everyone makes it through the weigh scales. And as they begin to clear the way, we'll get ready to head it down to Grace in just a moment here to hear from our fastest from X30 Pro Qualifying. Joe Turney, top of the board here with our first session wrapped up for the X30 Pros. Racing will be all that is next. But we'll get ready to hear from our fastest qualifier here now.
Joe, we were missing you here last week, or a couple weekends ago for USPKS. How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, super happy to be back. Yeah, bit of time at home, but yeah, super nice to be back here with everyone and this race.
I was just reminded you weren't here last year, but what are your goals for this weekend? Like being back and being excited for this race, the shootouts, and all the exciting things. What are you getting ready for?
Yeah, I mean, for everything. I mean, like we're running KA and X30, so it's gonna be a lot of different sessions, different karts, different people to race against, different layouts. So yeah, it looks like we got good speed on this layout, which is good for Sunday. So we'll see how we go. See how we go in the heat, and as well tomorrow on the other layout.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
And there you have it. Joe Turney, top qualifier in X30 Pro. As you mentioned, a whole lot of racing coming your way, folks. We'll be ready for it at 3:50 p.m. here with Heat Racing. For now, we'll take a quick break aside, let our hardworking camera and production team get something to eat along with the rest of the officials. We'll see you then.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrackracing.com.